Hey, it's Rich, the Louisiana Hobby Guy, and today I am in the laser lab again, and I've got a new product here that I got a couple of months ago, and I'm just now getting around to doing a review video on it. And I am not doing review videos on just any laser that people want to send me anymore, because if I do a review video, I always get blamed if the person gets one and they don't like it. So keep in mind that this is a review video, so I am not recommending something to you. I am telling you my opinions on it. Well, with that, I've got the new WeCreat Vision in the shop today. And isn't this an exciting time, 2023, with all of the new technology coming out? This is an all-enclosed, all-metal laser with autofocus, and it has an optional air scrubber, as you can see over there, with a remote control. So you can turn that on and off. And today we're going to be talking about this laser, my experience with this laser, how it cuts and engraves and so on. And I'll do a couple of demos for you, and then I will show you how to use it with LIGHTBURN. Yes, I know all the videos out there that you've seen say that it's not compatible with LIGHTBURN, but it is, and I will show you how to use it with LIGHTBURN. So with that said, let's get started, and we're going to start with the pros and cons. I'm putting this up front. Some people just want to hear the pros and cons of the machine, so let's do it. Let's get started with the pros and cons of the WeCreat Vision. All right, so let's start with the pros. The pros are, this is an all-in-one laser. So everything that you see there, fully enclosed, full metal, and it's kind of pretty. So you know, some people like pretty. This is a pretty machine. It has autofocus. I'm not quite sure how it does it, whether it's by LiDAR or something else, but it turns out the lights and the entire machine lowers down, which is a pretty cool feature on it. It lowers all the way down to the material and then comes back up the appropriate amount and then homes and the lights come back on. That is a great feature as far as I'm concerned. You have Wi-Fi control, you have USB control, so you don't need to be wired to the machine to use it in their software. You can use either an app control as well. They have Android and Apple apps. It is LIGHTBURN compatible, and I will show you how to do that a little bit later in the video. It has a 420 by 290, I think 290 work area, 420 by 290, which is kind of an odd size because most of us work with 12 by 12 sheets of plywood, 300 by 300. And the 290 comes in a little short, but you still can use the 12 by 12 piece of wood, so it still can position in there perfectly. When you put your material in, you pull it down toward you and over to the left, and it butts up in that corner, and it's perfectly positioned. That's a great feature. One of the things I like about the laser that's right behind me right here. It does have a knife bed, very similar to a CO2 bed, which most people use wrong from the review videos that I've watched. So it is a triangular knife bed, comes up to a very sharp point at the top, and that keeps you from getting flashback on the reverse side when you're cutting. It does cut very cleanly. I like that. And the knife bed is removable. You can get a chuck rotary accessory for it, and it just screws into a permanent position, which is also nice, and you can do up to a 4-inch tumbler with it. A lot of good features in this. It also comes with a free 6-month membership to their design catalog, and their design catalog has over 1,000 different designs in it, and they're adding new designs every day. So those are the pros that I see with this. Some of the cons with this machine are going to be that everything's in millimeters per second. So if you wanted to set your own settings, it's millimeters per second. I haven't dove into the software yet and see if I can change that to millimeters per minute. I don't know. So the way it comes out of the box is millimeters per second. Number two, it's got a 3-inch exhaust. Now you can buy the air scrubber that comes with this, and it's a great powerful air scrubber, but it doesn't take advantage of all of the air, moving all the air out. It's restricted by the 3-inch hose. I would highly recommend that in their next version they switch to a 4-inch hose, and it would have much better fume extraction from the machine, in my opinion. And if you use that air extractor, that air purifier, you can't vent it to the outdoors. It exhausts from the bottom, from some vents. It should exhaust from a 4-inch fitting on the bottom, or on the back actually, and that way you can hook up a hose and vent it outdoors. But I guess the purpose, the design in this was to have a desktop laser. So yes, you can use it as a desktop laser, but the thing is, you will get some odor. So if you're a mom and you're wanting to set this up in the corner of your dining room or something like that, it's not going to be totally odor free. Another thing that is a con on this machine is that unless you're using LIGHTBURN, if you're using the WeCreat software, you can only run one job at a time. So you may pull something down from their catalog that's like, for instance, a Christmas decoration, something to hang on the tree, and it comes in 3 different layers, and each of those layers may only take up a small amount of space on the material. It would be nice if you could combine all of those and move them all onto the same piece of material and run it in one job. But with their software, you have to do the first layer first, second layer second, third layer third. But for me, I'm going to use LIGHTBURN when I use it myself, and that way I'll be able to arrange everything the way I like it and run it all in one job. So those are pretty much the pros and the cons with this machine. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's get into the machine itself and do some testing. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do right now is I'm going to start the WeCreat software. So if I double click the icon, it actually loads pretty quickly, and you have the options. You come directly to their, I guess it's a shopping mall, I would call it, and any of these projects that you see here, you can just click add to canvas. Let me show you the canvas to begin with. So up here at the top, you've got your username here, where you do have to create a quick account, and I'm not going to do that today because WeCreat has an extensive playlist on their YouTube channel, which is unusual for a new machine coming out to the market, showing you tutorials on everything, the unboxing, the setup. It's very, very simple to do. So we're just going to go straight to new project today, and I'm going to click on that, and you'll see here is the canvas, and it immediately takes a picture of the workbed. So now one of the things to pay attention to here is where you position your material, and if you position it in the lower left corner like this right here, you can use all of this space to work on and know exactly where you're working. Even if you remove the material from the bed, let's say that something didn't cut all the way through, you could put it back into this exact position and rerun the job. So that's a nice feature right there. And the first thing that I want to show you about the software before we get into all of the different projects that they've got is they have a material library that comes with this. Now it is a limited material library, but you can add to it. So if I click on this, it comes automatically set to basswood 3mm. But if I open this up, you'll see that we've got basswood 3mm, 5mm, we've got cherry, we've got cherry plywood, cherry wood, 3mm and 5mm, and so on. Walnut, most of this is wood. I don't know what Tamo or Tamo is. Birch plywood, which is what we're using today. 10mm balsa wood, and these are all the different things that they've got in here. And way down at the bottom, I've also added my own 6mm plywood, cork, and so on. So for today, what we're going to do is we're going to choose the 3mm birch plywood. That's what's on the bed right there. So now that sets the speed and the power for the engraving and the cutting, no matter what we do here. So if I were to take a rectangle, let's say, and draw it out on here, you have all of your tools are on the left side right here. You can upload a design right here, but let's just do the rectangle for right now. And the speed and the power is already set. So the power is 100%, the speed is 225 millimeters per second, and the passes is 1. And according to them, if I put this on the cut layer, well, now the speed just dropped to 8. You see how that adjusted automatically? So we had it on the engraved layer. Now it's on the cut layer, and the speed is 8. That's 480 millimeters per minute. That's about right for a 20-watt diode laser. And the number of passes is 1. If we wanted to engrave this, to fill engrave this, now we have a whole new menu that pops up where we can actually pick by color. This is, if I click on this, this is an image map. So all of these, you can click on any one of these and choose the color that you want it to be, and it'll automatically set the settings. So if I wanted a shade like this one right here, that would be 475, 100% power. So this is a really neat feature, having this image map in here. There, I'll click on it. You'll see that it says it already made the settings. Now if I click off of it, it changed the settings to a power of 100 and a speed of 475 millimeters per second. So that is a nice feature right there. We can zoom in and out by rolling our mouse wheel on the workbed here. There is a hand up here where you can move it manually, like so, and then the selector tool is right next to it. We're going to work in laser flat today, and we're not going to use this design. We're going to actually go get a design from their store. So I'm going to click on home up here to go back to the beginning. I'm not going to save this project, and I'm going to scroll down here. I saw a cross that I wanted to cut out for a demonstration. So let's go ahead and find that cross one more time. And these just go on forever. And I finally got to, I had to speed that up because it's just page after page after page after page. And I think I'm going to pick this cross right here. No, maybe I think I like this one better. So I'm going to add this to the canvas. And here you'll see it gives you a photograph of what it is, how to put it together, and a couple of photographs actually. And there are two pieces, a little circle and the cross itself. What I'll do now is just click Make It right here, and this will add it to the canvas. And there it is. It's already set on the canvas, and there it just refreshed the screen. So now you can see the wood that's on there. I'll just take and move this way down here because that's where I want to work. I don't want to waste too much wood. I don't have to change anything now or set any settings because it already imported all of the settings for this job. So the only thing that we need to do now is focus the laser, and here's the autofocus button right over here. I'll switch over to the laser and click the autofocus. And there you can see it turned out the light. And it's going to start lowering now until it finds the exact right focus. This is very similar to a Glowforge at a fraction of the price. So there you can see it's done focusing. It's turned the lights back on. We can come back to the software now, and it is ready to start. Up here in the top right corner, we're just going to hit the start button, and vector filler bitmap. Okay, so the overscanning has kicked in here. It's too close to the corner there. Okay, well, I'm glad that it has that built in. And I didn't want to do that. I'll undo that. Let me just grab the whole cross and move it over here, and I'll grab this piece and move it closer to the corner like that. Now I can put this back over here, and hopefully that overscanning should be pretty good. We'll try it again. So we're going to go start. There it is. And we can zoom in here if we want to and take a look at it. And that's going to be the final product. Now all I have to do is click send, and it will send it to the laser. And of course, like the Glowforge, I've got to go press the button to start processing. So let's watch this in real time. And I'm just realizing that I should have put that in the top corner so that you can actually see it work. But you'll get the idea. Let's switch back over to the software for a moment. And here in the software, you'll see that you've got the percentage right there as it's climbing to 100%. When it gets to 99%, it sort of stalls for a little while. You do have to wait for this to reach 100% before you open the lid on the laser. And I'll show you in a moment. So now we're getting to that 99% mark, and you'll see that it is not finished the job yet. It will be just a little bit longer before it's completely finished, and I guess it's 99.1, 99.2. I really don't know, but it is still working, and it will continue to work. It's still doing the engraving, so there is a little bit of a delay when it reaches 99%. Make sure that you wait until it says that it's complete and the laser has finished the job.
No, I'm not one of those who is the center of attention. I'm no one.
And there you can see that it has finished the job. But if we come back, and the laser is returning to the home position, but if we come back to the software, you'll see that it's still at 99%. So we just need to wait for it to say complete. And once it says complete, we can go open the door. There it is right there. So we'll say complete, and I'll go take the project off the laser.
Some people might say I am afraid, but I just do things my own way. I don't know why, guess I don't like people pleasing. And sometimes they don't see what defines me, but I don't need them honestly, 'cause I got you. Everybody else makes me feel small and done and lost, but you're not like everybody else.
Okay, so here it is off the laser. Funny that the little hole didn't, the big hole didn't cut out, but the little hole did. But that's funny. So it is cut through, it just needed to be popped out. So let's take a look now. I'm going to use this wood so that the camera will autofocus so you can see the final job here. And there it is right there. Did a really fine job on the engraving and the cutting, and because of the knife bed, you can see that the back is almost 100% clean. A slight wipe will take anything else off the back. So there we go. That is the final project. Sorry, I got to put this wood up here. It's the only way you can see it. And here is the other little circle that you attach the piece with over here. I don't know how I'm going to let you see that one, but there are the two pieces right there. I think I can probably hold this one out now. Yeah, nice clean cut on both. And now I want to show you the camera bed now that I've put the wood back in position and refreshed the screen, and you can see that it is darn near close to what that is. So if we delete this graphic, you'll see that now we can use more pieces of the wood all the way up to the edge here. Everywhere in here we can run more jobs and not waste any wood. So that is the great feature about, that's the thing I love the most about the laser behind me, and this one has that exact positioning. So that's a great feature to have, and that's something that you shouldn't overlook, because you'll have very little waste using a machine like this with the built-in camera that's fairly accurate. Okay, so now I want to take a project that I made myself, something that I designed, and import it here to WeCreat and upload it to the Vision. So here in the software, I'm going to select my material first, which I'm using the 3mm Birch plywood. I'm going to come over to the left side over here, and I'm going to click on Upload. And I'm just going to grab one of these right here, and this is a 2-layer cross. So now you see it doesn't fit on my material. So what I have to do here is just select one of these. I'm going to press Control and the letter C to copy it, and then I'm going to delete it. And I'm going to add another canvas here, and I'm going to press Control and V and paste it onto this canvas. We'll come back to this one later. So going back to the first canvas here, this is my first piece. I'm not going to try and waste all of it, so I'll put it pretty close to the left side and the bottom like that. And now I'll just click over here. I don't want it to engrave, I want it to cut, which changes that to the red layer. I'm going to click autofocus right here. Now the laser will automatically focus. And we'll be ready to run this job. So as soon as it finishes with its focusing, we'll come over here, wait for it to catch up, and we are ready to click the start button up here. About 2 minutes it says to process this, so I'm going to hit send, and now I'm going to walk over to the laser and turn it on.
You're the only one who makes me talk and walk so tall, 'cause you're not like everybody else at all. You're everything everyone else is not. You're not one of those who judge before they know.
Now I am still waiting for the processing to catch up here. It's still at 99%, and there we go, complete. So now I can go and take this off the workbed.
I just feel at home. You like to take things slow, never stressing anybody. That's just how I roll.
I'm going to put my next layer in while I'm here.
Some people might say I am afraid, but I just do things my own way. I don't know why, 'cause I don't like people pleasing, and sometimes they don't see what defines me, but I don't need.
And we're back. And you can see it has a little bit, a couple of little spots where it didn't completely go through, but it should pop out okay. I'm going to use my X-Acto just because, well, I could pop this right out, but I'm going to use my X-Acto just because I don't want to ruin that piece. I'm just going to make a couple little scores and pop it out. In the meanwhile, I'm going to switch over in the software to layer number 2. I'm going to refresh the screen here, and you'll see I've put that new piece of material on there, and I will just bring this over to the side here, bring it a little lower, right about there, looks good. Change this one to a cut so that it's red, and I'm still using 3mm birch plywood, so that's fine. And all I'm going to do is hit start, and while this job is running, I will go ahead and quickly go over that first layer with my knife. And you see that I didn't click the autofocus. So let's go ahead and do that. So far I've found that normally it remembers the focus from the last job. I guess it's because I went to another layer that it needed to refocus again. So I'm going to assume that that is the reason. Okay, so now as soon as that catches up, we'll be able to hit start. And this one is going to be a little longer because there is a lot of detail in here. And I might even I might change the size to, no, I'm just going to hit send. This is a review video, so let's just go ahead and do it.
'Cause I got you. Everybody else makes me feel small and dark and lost, but you're not like everybody else at all. You're the only one who makes me talk and walk so tall. 'Cause you're not like everybody else at all. You're everything everyone else is like. You're everything everyone else is like. You're everything everyone else is like.
Okay, so this one did also have a little bit of trouble cutting through, but not much. There you can see just a couple of little spots. I think most of this is gonna snap out, and it did. But getting it out of this, there we go. Getting it out of this piece of wood is tough. So that one is out. This one only took a couple of swipes with the knife, the backer over here. Let me put this out of the way. And this one was, wow, you really got to be good at this to get these to come out perfectly. This was, this is a tough design. This is something that I designed myself and that I run on the laser that's behind me. Christmas decorations, and you can see that these little intricate parts here take a little doing to get them out. So because of all of the little turns, it takes a minute or two to get all of these pieces out. So, and a lot of them you can just pop out, but the ones that are attached going all the way across, those are kind of hard to get out. So you do have to take your time and be careful not to break anything along the way. I almost broke something there. This is a very delicate design. Like I said, there's the big piece out of the middle, and here it is right here. So you can see all of the cuts that are in there, and look at the walking stick right there. It's so tiny. This did a good job on it. I'm really very surprised. I'm going to show you this in a minute if I don't break anything myself. Some of the holes are about the size of this knife blade, and I will give you an idea of what I'm talking about right now because I'm finished. So this is a very complicated design, and for any laser to do this, it's a feat. It's an engineering feat. Look at the walking stick that I was talking about right up here. Can you see that? How it's less than a millimeter. And there you can see, and I'm showing you the back side where I think, yes, I am showing you the back side. Let me show you the front side, which looks much prettier. Still, it take just a wipe with a little bit of water to get those stains off very carefully. So all these small pieces, but that is an incredible job. I also did this off of the website while you weren't around, and this is a 1, 2, 3 layers. There's 3 layers in here. There's 2 layers on the bottom. There's slots and tabs, and in the top is open where you slide in the photograph, and there is a frame here on 3 sides on the inside so that the photograph sits squarely inside the frame. And I really think this is a really nice file that was, you know, print and cut. I just downloaded it off the software and ran the job. So yes, you can do fine intricate details, and you can import your own files that you've designed. Okay, so let's have a little bit of fun with this. They have a great tool in the software called AI. Let's take a look at that and see how well it works. So over here you'll see AI. I'm going to click on AI, and I'm going to come up in here, and I'm going to put in my own prompt: a polar bear riding a bicycle in New York City in black and white. I'm going to click over here on deliberate, and I'm going to want 4 different versions of this. So now I'm going to click generate, and depending on your connection speed and how elaborate your description is, it may take a few minutes. Let's click generate. And there you see I've got 4 different versions. I already tried this once. I just changed the verbiage on here. So we've got this one, and we've got this one. That actually looks pretty cool. We've got this one. He's missing a paw, it looks like. And we've got this one with the body of a human in the face of a polar bear. Well, I think I'm going to pick this one. I like this one the best. Let me see. No, maybe I like this one the best. I'm going to pick this one, and I'm going to say import to canvas right here. So there we go. It imports it at full size. We can change this to whatever size that we want. I'm going to refresh the overlay. I've already put a piece of scrap wood on there, and now I'll know where I can place this. I'm going to place it right down. I'm just going to put it right up here, right next to these cuts. And now over here on the right side with the graphics selected, if I don't have the graphics selected, you won't see this, but with the graphics selected, I'm going to click on the wood because that's what we've got in there. So I'll click on wood, and basswood, plywood, it all comes out pretty much the same. I think I'm going to click a high speed. So we'll go 250 speed and 80% power, and that has automatically filled out these numbers over here for me. So now if I click off of that, we should be ready to run this job. This is 123 by 123. Maybe we'll make this, let's just make it 100 instead, because I think that's a better size. I think we've got it ready to go. I'm going to check the line density is at 100. I prefer a higher density, so I think I'm going to go to 200 like that. That's the line interval right there, or the DPI. We're going to go to 200. The power is already set, and 1 pass, and we're good to go. So I'm going to click start now. I forgot to autofocus, so I'm going to click on autofocus. Alright, so you do have to remember to autofocus. You see the entire bed is lowering down to the wood, and I'm not quite sure how this is done, whether it's LiDAR or spot size. But okay, so now we are ready, and I can come over here and click the start button in the top right corner, and it now tells me, if I zoom in here, I can get a preview. I think that's looking pretty good. So it's telling me 23 minutes and 21 seconds. Don't worry, I will speed this up. Let me click send, and now you can see it says press the button to start processing. So here we go. I'm going to press the button and turn on the air scrubber. And now I'll speed this video up for you. Alright, so really quickly, I just wanted to show you that we're at 99%, but don't get ready to jump up and run over to the laser just yet. It's going to stay at 99% for just a little while before the laser finishes its job. It's almost complete, but it's got just that last little bit to do, and the timer isn't perfectly accurate. I've found out that on 4-inch jobs or so, it's about 8 minutes off, and on smaller jobs like this, it's going to be somewhere in the area of between 2 and 3 minutes off. So it'll hang up at that 99% for a couple of extra minutes before it actually finishes the job. I guess it's 99.1, 99.2, 99.3, and so on. But it should be just about finished in a moment. Alright, so it's about 4.5 minutes since the last time I interrupted, and you can see now that the laser is homing. It's going back up to its up position, but this is still in the processing mode here. So before we open the door, we just want to wait until this says complete. And there we go, it says complete. So I'll just click complete. I'll go grab it off the laser and show you what we got. Okay, I'm back. So, I gotta say, I'm just gonna brush it off with my paintbrush really quickly. We got something really incredible right straight off the laser. Look at how beautiful that came out. It's kind of hard to see, but it's almost like three-dimensional. Really came out nice. I guess probably from about here would be the best way to view it. Real nice engraving. I mean, especially being that I didn't do any photo work on it. I just took it straight off the internet and burned it as is. That is a nice job. I'm going to give that a thumbs up. So that's how easy it is to use the AI feature in WeCreat Vision. Okay, so we're going to try some Slate this time. I've put a graphic here onto the Slate so that you can see it, and it looks like it's pretty centered. That's what we're going to expect as a result. I've selected the Slate stone from over here, Slate stone, and now if I select the graphic itself, I can now get this example material test card. So if I click on that, I don't know which one. I'm going to go for the highest speed, and we'll just go 100% power and then click off of it. And now we should be ready to focus. So it can be as easy as that. So let's go ahead and hit the autofocus button. Let the laser do its thing. And that looks like it's ready. So we'll wait for it to finish spinning here and hit start up in the top right corner. And it says 6 minutes and 8 seconds. Don't worry, I'll speed this up. And I'm going to hit send. And now I can go back to the laser and hit the green button. And that's about it. So we've got processing complete. I'm going to hit the complete button and go take it off the laser. Okay, I haven't cleaned it up yet, but I'm going to. And it doesn't look like it really needs any cleanup, but I'll do it anyway. Just get some of the dust off. And guess what? This actually turned out wonderful. That is a really nice engraving, and I'm going to say a really nice engraving in a short amount of time, and I don't think you're going to get much better than that on Slate. You know, if I'm going to have a laser in the shop, it's got to be LIGHTBURN compatible to some degree, and I have found a workaround for using LIGHTBURN with the WeCreat Vision. I will show you, number one, how to set this up and create a LIGHTBURN file for the WeCreat, and then number two, I will actually come back and use a smaller file that I can run a little more quickly so that you can see the results, and I'll show you how it works. So yeah, technically it's not compatible with LIGHTBURN, but there is a workaround, and I'm going to show that to you right now. Let's go. Okay, so I've opened a new browser tab, and if you go and follow the link below this video in the description, you're going to see this link right here, and it's going to be the WeCreat device file. All you have to do is click on that link, and you'll see that it immediately downloads the file. There it is right there. It's in my download folder, and now we need to switch over to LIGHTBURN, and in LIGHTBURN we need to go to the laser tab right here, and we want to click on devices. So here you see I've got a bunch of devices. I want to import a device. I'm going to go to that folder, and there it is right there. I'm just going to click on that, and I'm going to say open right here. And now you see the WeCreat laser is in there, so I can say OK. So now we can come over here on the right side, pull down this drop down menu, and switch to the WeCreat laser right here. And now with the WeCreat Vision loaded in LIGHTBURN software, I will go ahead and design a graphic here. So I will select this file and put it down into the bottom left corner. I'm just going to bring it up a little bit, bring it out a little bit, because I have plenty of wood to work with here. But that's where it's going to be right there. I've already set my cuts and layers, and now I'm going to click on Save G-Code. I'm going to call this one Test. Click Save, and there it is. Now we will come over to the WeCreat software, and you can see that that's where I've got my wood loaded. My graphics should be right down here, and what I'm going to do is click Upload. I'm going to come over here, G-Code Files, Test, set my thickness to 3 millimeters right here, and actually we do get a camera preview, so that's pretty good. And I'm going to click Send. And all I have to do now is go press that button, so I'll do that now. Alright, so we are back to live, and it is just about finished with the job. And before we go back over there, I just wanted to show you the software. The software is still on processing, and there it goes to complete. So we'll say complete and refresh the page here. And there you can see that it has cut that out, and it fell down onto the knife bed. So let's go get it out and take a look at it. Alright, so here's the final result. It did not engrave it as nicely as I used the LaserMATIC 20, so the results are not quite as good on the engraving, but still that's pretty nice. I think I would just make this one a little bit hotter. You can see that the edges were perfect using the LaserMATIC setting. Well, you can't see it because the camera won't focus on it. There, maybe that's better. But yeah, that's all done in LIGHTBURN. So yes, you can use the WeCreat with LIGHTBURN and get a perfect result. And you know, I love to design in LIGHTBURN, and I can see using this laser now that I've figured out how to use it with LIGHTBURN. I can see myself using this on a regular basis. So that's it. A quick tutorial on how to use your WeCreat laser with LIGHTBURN.